Okay, I'm getting ready to paint this door on this side. This is that garage door. This is the first side with this mini roller. Okay, I always kind of do them the same. This top edge first. Okay. Middle section. Because those pieces of wood are going in that direction. Just to there, see? As long as I get it all the way like that, nice and even strokes, get it all the way there. You don't want any stop and starts. All the way down to the craft paper. Okay, that. Boy, it almost, I say, looks like I know what I'm doing, right? Almost. And, I mean, painter will probably laugh at you if they saw you doing this, but most painters, they like to paint these with their spray gun or something like that. I don't have a spray gun, and I don't want to rent a spray gun because I've never ran one. Last thing you want to do is try to get something that you've never used before, thinking you're going to put it on just as good as a painter. You know, good luck with that, I have to say. Okay. Now, I usually wipe that because I don't want that to drip, right? Just getting a little bit more paint before I run this from top to bottom. Okay. Now, I can do that one from top to bottom, or bottom to top, whatever. Okay. Like that. And I always finish either at the bottom or at the top. Don't finish at the middle of the door. Okay? Then it might leave an edge. Now I'm just going to hit this edge so it doesn't build up. I'm not going to hit the edge of the door, just this outside bit so I don't leave an edge on the side of the door. We'll do the side of the door, not now, but after I flip the doors over. I'll do that when I do the other side. See what I mean? I'll show you. You just keep watching. I'll show you. Even by stopping and starting again, you'll get the hang of how much paint you should put on, because your roller will dictate that to you. Okay? And I haven't done my thing yet. Okay, now I'm going to start from bottom to top, right along that line. Make an imaginary line across there, and then move it over. And move it over. Kaboom. Wipe that edge. Wipe that a little bit. Make sure I don't build it up where the hinges are, or any of that. Okay, those edges are done. Now, to do this, looks like I'm going to need some more paint in my little paint tray. I don't want to skimp on my paint. But granted, this is my first coat. I'm gonna do this again. Because like I say, I want to get a nice good coverage, because this is a garage door that we use all the time. Okay? Okay, so now bottom to top. I'm not leaving any edges, even though I'm using a 4-inch mini roller. I've got no edges on that whole door. That's looking mighty nice. And I think I might have enough in my pen to where I don't have to get any more paint out. Let's see. see. Okay, now I'm concentrating on getting about the same thickness on there. I'm not pushing too hard on there. Okay, now bottom to top, or top to bottom, however you want to do it, however it makes you feel comfortable from right to left, left to right. I see there's this little mark right there, so I'm going to get that and then move it over. I've got a little drip up there, and I've got to take care of that. Right. Now I see there's a slight drip there, and it might have came up off of this one here, and so I've got to do this middle, just barely. I need to, or else that's going to show, see? So instead of just getting the one little spot, I'm going to go just to this imaginary line right here, right there, and do this back section again. And that's done. Okay, there. And now, if I have any paint in my paint tray left, I can clean that out with my paintbrush or leave it in there. There's hardly any in there. And see, I'm not gonna. There's nothing I can do now to these two doors until they dry. Right? Once this one dries all the way, I'm gonna let it set overnight, and that one is gonna be all ready to be put over there. All that because I saw some imperfections on the bottom panel, and remember right in here at eye level, well, that's all been fixed now. Everything looks really good now. Got the edges, made sure this paint didn't run over the edge and build up an edge there, because I don't want that. And on this door here, so I'm going to let that dry, and then there's a couple different ways I can do it. I know it's been really difficult for me to move this because it's so heavy, but I'm going to clean up and go to dinner and stuff, and then I may decide what to do about sanding that lightly with the 150 and then repainting the whole thing again, not the grooves, but everything, all the flat panels before I flip it around, or I can flip it, because see, if I flip it around, do the other side and then the edges, I'm going to have to flip it around again, and I'm trying to do it to a minimum because this door is so heavy. Okay, and because I'm doing two coats, hey, it's just going to take what it takes. So I think maybe later tonight, after this side dries, and it'll dry enough to where I can lightly sand it before I put the next coat on. It'll dry, probably, I don't know, maybe an hour. It's like 90 degrees outside and stuff. And then I just want to make sure I lightly sand it. I don't want to sand it too much. I don't want to pull up too many edges on the paint in case it's not cured all the way down, which I know it's not going to be. But see, I'll get a better finish if I do that for my second coat, rather than if I just let this dry and I said, oh, okay, I'm going to put a second coat on there and just paint over that. It is what it is at that point. However roughness this is, it's going to be that slightly rougher when I put a second coat on there. You see what I'm saying? And if I left any edges, which I don't think I did, but if I left any edges or something, I can kind of check that out with my hand, feel on there, lightly sand, hit any little rough spots, if there are any, before I put the next coat. Okay, do things right and you'll get a good job. Okay, and so now I'm gonna roll this this paint roller up. I'm not gonna rinse it off. But I wanna, see, I hardly have any more paint in here, but that's okay. I got just enough to kind of get some paint on this roller. 'Cause I want the whole roller wet. So I can wrap it with plastic. And you remember, I wrapped it with this paintbrush. I don't need that paintbrush yet. And I'll have to decide if I'm gonna use that paintbrush again later tonight or not. If I don't, then I'll rinse it out. And I don't have to rinse it out now. I can rinse it out after dinner because it's still wet, right? Okay, so now I can, let's see how I'm gonna do this. Just gonna wrap this up like so. Okay. And I don't have to go any further than that, but I'm gonna fold that over so that I can wrap it in, okay, like that. That way I get the end of this. See, I should have moved it over, and in fact I can, like that, and then wrap it some more, like that, okay, and make sure the plastic's all on that roller, okay, like that, and there you go, that's all wet. I can come back after dinner and clean that up. This, I don't have any paint in there, I can leave that. My paint can over here, I can put the lid back on, or just leave it on top like that, you know. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Well, I may close it, because then I can open it again after dinner. You just don't want to get too much air caught in your paint can, you know. But I think it's going to be okay, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to leave it just like that. And when I get back after dinner, I can lightly sand this door, check it, get into my paint roller again, mix up my paint, pour a little bit more in there, and go on this side of the door again. Okay, so I'll put the second coat on here before the end of the night. I'll have to get my my construction light out here and shine it on here and stuff and get that, and then I'll leave it like that until the morning. Then in the morning I'll flip that door around, put one coat on the other side, and then I'll do the edges at the same time, let that dry, sand it, and put the second coat. Okay, so I'm only going to have to flip it one more time, and then I'll let it dry the rest of that day, and maybe the rest of the night for that night, meaning these doors are going to be off, and this is just how we're going to live for tonight and maybe tomorrow night. Just with that, that's why I'm wanting to do this in the summer, because it's nice and warm and stuff. We'll leave the car parked outside. If the cat wants to come in here, fine, the cat can come in here, whatever. And then that'll give me plenty of time to do this frame tomorrow. And even then, you see, eventually I'm going to paint the garage. I haven't done that yet. But see, I could just paint this frame from here just over to there and do the whole inside, okay? And then I can paint this. I can paint that later if I wanted, you know, if you're stressed for time, because the door is gonna stop here, okay? And then you could paint this other. I could prop the door open and I could paint from here over to here, this edge, all that. I can do that at another time if I wanted. I don't have to do that right now, but I would have to paint this before I installed the new weather stripping, okay? So you're just going to have to decide for yourself on your time frame and the importance of everything and all that. Just know, give yourself plan B if you need it, and that's my plan B, because I thought I was going to get all this stuff done today. Well, sadly, wasn't going to be the case because so much sanding and different things I had to do. It just, everything takes time when you're working by yourself. Remember that. Okay, that's going to turn out nice. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos. I hope to see you again, and I'll show you some more on these doors and beyond. I still got some other things to do at this condo renovation, so keep watching the episodes.